A UNICEF report cited by the Insider portal reveals that every fifth child in the United States lives below the poverty line. The report shows that against the backdrop of 35 analyzed countries, the position of the United States on child poverty is alarmingly low. Contrary to stereotypes, it is not only orphans or completely marginal families who go hungry. Many children have parents who nevertheless lack the means to buy food. The parents of these children retain parental rights, but lack of money and an insufficient minimum income deprive them of the ability to feed their offspring. Many young citizens live in families that are gradually losing their roofs, and homes fall into homelessness through economic exclusion. On the streets and in makeshift shelters, a new social layer is growing called the working homeless, employed but without a roof. Data from the United States Department of Agriculture indicate that 2,900,000 minors do not receive regular, nutritionally adequate food. The scale of this deprivation of basic food exceeds the entire population of Chicago and is comparable to 4 cities named Washington. One can imagine a huge city whose inhabitants are exclusively children deprived of regular meals and wearing clothes that are too small. For many pupils, the meal served at school becomes the only certain portion of food during the day, because the home does not guarantee stable nourishment. Insider journalists describe how children returning home are not sure whether a hot meal awaits them, which emphasizes the daily uncertainty. Nationwide, approximately 30 million students submit applications for subsidized school meals, which indicates enormous demand. Even the free school lunch system does not provide 100% certainty that every needy child eats regularly. The Department of Agriculture considered restricting access to food vouchers for 500,000 students, which could deepen lack of access to meals. Administrative changes in food assistance programs raise concerns about the stability of support for families on the brink of poverty. Analyses indicate that in the year 2018, only 3,790,000 children were born, which was the lowest figure in 32 years. Such a low level of births previously occurred in the year 1987, which underscores long-term demographic changes. Child poverty is not limited to material issues but affects education, health, and the future life opportunities of young people. Undernutrition during developmental age disrupts concentration and school achievement, which closes the path to social advancement in later years. The food crisis in families also impacts the mental well-being of children who feel shame, insecurity, and isolation among peer groups. Lack of access to regular meals increases the risk of long-term health problems and weakens the body's resistance to infections. The scale of reported needs in school nutrition programs illustrates the breadth of the problem that cannot be solved by emergency actions alone. Families in poverty often face the choice between paying bills and buying food, which causes chronic livelihood instability. The multifaceted nature of child poverty requires integrated solutions, including food assistance, social support, and income stabilization. Media reports indicate that undernourishment and lack of housing stability intertwine into a cycle of exclusion that is difficult to break. The consequences for society include reduced educational potential and increased future healthcare costs. New social categories such as the working homeless illustrate changes in the structure of poverty, whose face becomes employed people without protections. Public debate turns to the question of how the state and institutions should respond to the real needs of millions of children affected by deprivation. The significant number of school food assistance applications shows that the problem also affects families that outwardly function within the employment system. Some policy proposals envisage reductions in support, which critics say could deepen the scale of hunger among the youngest citizens. The vision of a city filled with hungry children is a warning against ignoring the invisible aspects of national prosperity. The scale of data provided by government institutions and international organizations forces reflection on the priorities of social policy. As reports show, alarming indicators social pressure grows on support systems to prevent deepening poverty. The problem of child undernourishment is also a moral problem that requires empathy and concrete actions from policymakers and society. Analyses show that without stable assistance policies, many families may fall even deeper into a spiral of deprivation of basic means of subsistence. Examples of restricted access to support programs provoke controversy and fear of squandering previous achievements in social assistance. The phenomenon of child poverty in a country treated as a shining example of economic success raises hard questions about the justice of resource distribution. Media reports and government statistics together create a picture of a complicated crisis whose size reveals the scale of human suffering.